You know what this is? It's not a movement, it's the only thing moving, huh? Dig that? Okay, oh yes, the war is coming. The gap keep growing with the wealthy and the slumming. So I use my mental riches for digits to keep them running till my chips come around. Yo, like a Funyun, bite down, get a taste of that Midwest flavor. While I'm at it, let Mr. Rogers just shout out to my neighbors. I ain't mention the journal when I say wake up, get paper. Not talking about Kobe when they mention a great lake.
I would kill one if I could.
Dog, listen. I'm just saying, this is where we starting. Like, this is where we starting. Because you are on full BS, bro. So, but for our very first time, you ready for Christmas, man? You ready for Christmas? It's right.
Yeah,
about,
man.
You done shopping?
I think well, I kind of got a good idea of the stuff I want to get. My kids are spoiled, man. So they electronically send in lists, and so I'm just planning on what I want to buy and what order I want to start. But I got a good idea of the stuff I'm gonna buy. What about you, though?
I'm just about prepared for Christmas. My son fucked me up for the first time. I realized that I'm dealing with a real teenager. He asked me for a pair of Jordan 4s today. I'm like, when the fuck he find out about Jordan 4s? You ain't never seen Michael Jordan play a day in your life. Like, when did you find out about this?
Right.
He hit me with the real. I guess he's starting to find out what's trending, like, amongst teenagers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he at that age now, bro. He asked me for his first pair of Jordans. Mind you, I've bought him Jordans in the past, but he asked me for his first pair, like, out of his mouth today. Like, that was a learning experience as a father.
And mind you, for the audience, Rome kids are rich. So this speaks to the GOAT's transcending popularity. And that's so dope to see. Like, kids should start to understand culture and the culture they're a part of. But no, we know them kids rich. So
don't put that rich label on me, dog. No, I'm rich broke. What little do I say? I'm not rich.
Rich in spirit.
Rich in spirit. That's what I am. I ain't rich yet, but it's on the way. We gonna spread false narratives through these airways.
Hey, like and subscribe.
Like, right, I don't need nobody calling me asking me for a goddamn thing. Don't call me asking me for nothing.
I think the more money you get, the better you lie. When you first start getting that paper, you want to help everybody, right? But at some point, you be like, the more you get, you be like, man, that's just not responsible. I ain't got it.
No.
So it's crazy, man.
You know what? And I to add to that point too, the more money you get, like, yeah, you do want to. A lot of us come from poverty or struggles or whatnot. So it's like, yeah, we do want our hearts in the right places and everything. But one thing that you do realize is that the more money you get, the more you realize that, damn, this ain't a lot of money. You know what I mean? And as big as your heart is, you start counting other people's pockets, looking back and like, man, if I had that amount of money, then we start getting to those levels. You like, man, like this ain't stretching as far as I thought it would. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big misconception amongst poor people. Like, yeah, once you start getting up there, you realize that you can't save the world. A lot of us got this complex, like, survivor's guilt or
Robin Hood.
What's that?
I said, like a Robin Hood.
Yeah, like a Robin Hood, almost like, once I get there, I'm gonna help everybody. Sometimes you realize some people don't want your help. You can't help everybody, and your money don't go as far as you think it's gonna go.
I would agree. Another perspective to that for me would be, as you grow your money, man, like, it's tough. So that first break you may get, it may not be as tough, but then to go from that level to them, that could be a big level. But to you like 100,000, 6 figures. Everybody talking about they making 6 figures now.
Right.
That ain't what the census says. But anyhow, you get to 6 figures, you be like, I want to get to 7. And so people don't understand. So it's easy to start seeing, man, how much dead weight just really be around you. And it's a lot of it's just mindset, right? It's like, I don't like to hang out with people that say can't. They always say can't. I don't hang out with those people. I don't care what it is. You can do anything. If you say can't, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, because the moment you say that, the moment you put that energy out into the world, it's definitely gonna manifest, and you ain't gonna be able to do it.
Facts.
And like don't nothing be the can't like a try. Like I'm gonna try and see what I can do. If I can't do that, hey, I might have to work this muscle a little bit more till I can do it. You know what I mean? So you spot on with that.
Bless you, brother. Bless you.
I appreciate it. I had to sneeze off camera right quick, but but yeah, you know, so I really think, like you said, that speaks to the mindset of people. And like I said, one thing I've never done is looked at somebody who was making some paper and been like, I want what they got. Like, never, because I don't know what struggles, what sleepless nights they had to deal with to get to that level. You know what I mean? All we see is the end result. And I think we get caught up in that a lot of time when we start looking at people and start thinking, man, this is something what I want, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, bro, you don't know what this man had to do to get there. So I've never looked at that. I look at it as aspirational, and like, oh, you know, such got it going on. Good for him, good for them, and I can see it and I can touch it and it's tangible. But I don't look at them and be like, that I want exactly what they have for my life, because it don't work like that. It's not reality.
Absolutely. And you ain't probably willing to carry the load or to make those sacrifices, because if you were, it's a good chance that you would already have something similar that would give you that fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, and let me quantify by saying I can see somebody with a Maybach, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna have one next year. But anywho, I can see somebody with a Maybach and be like, man, I want me one of them, right? But for me, when I think about that stuff, man, I think of truly the riches is stuff that money can't buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like having a family, having people that really love you, having people that really talk about your character and mean it, right? We come from these environments of trauma where we got to lie for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more acceptable for you to be wild, crazy, out of control, and the responsibility on me to lie about you being good is more than a responsibility of you just being good. And that's just kind of the problem. So the wanting thing, you know, having revere for things, great. But at the end of the day, at what cost?
Yeah, and like I said, culturally, I think that's how you get a Diddy. Like by people who are around you that lie, and because you have certain things in life, you know what I mean, or something, and they'll just willing to die on any cross for you, you know what I mean. And it's like, fam, hold on, like why are you willing to go that space for me instead of vouching for me for the good things and the moral things that I do? You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, this person is terrible, so I'm gonna rock with him because he got paper. Like I can never see myself doing that, fam. I'm a person of such a moral spectrum that I have to take. I can only have people that are. You can be human around me, don't get me wrong, but I need people who are good people around me, and that represent me at all times. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with a person who's full of shit around me. You know what I'm saying? Or a person that don't do what they say they're gonna do. A person of low integrity. I can't deal with that at all.
And you know what? For me, I've learned the difference is even like the Diddy, because that's easy. But like, there's a difference between him being around people and people wanting to be around him. And I think that's where the lines be blurred, because when you around somebody, there's a benefit to that. Majority of the people that was around, he has no benefit to being around y'all. It's the reverse. Y'all have the benefit of being around him, so you're subjected to that lifestyle. Man, y'all love to drink. We know broke dudes who freaky from the rooter to the tutor. So now you the best of the drugs, maybe a shopping spree. People be complicit, they be willing, but then like most things, you know, people just kick each other when we down. Y'all been knew this stuff was wrong. We seen it happen with R. Kelly. All musicians of all time, we've seen this behavior until one person or a group of people call something out, then people jumping off the top rope on them. It's like, y'all been knew that, man. Y'all tripping.
Right. I don't think I would disagree with this. Golly, I'm sorry, I got like something in my throat, but I don't think one thing I would disagree with you is that it ain't a benefit for a Diddy to be around other people or people not on this level, quote unquote. A lot of times, man, people be stealing sauce. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that I've seen that wasn't as famous as a Kanye or as a Diddy or as a Drake, and then you see them start stealing sauce from these people. So they've been, depending on somebody's swag, their character, the way they carry themselves. You can these people, these famous megastar superpowers, they can benefit from that as well.
No, I would agree with that 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking more so in proximity though. I can get online and see what y'all talking about, check out that leading, motivating, developing gear, and go make the same thing and steal some sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a difference when I'm in your presence and I'm seeing how you raise your family and I'm seeing how you really move, right? There's a direct correlation to the benefit. You got a pool, right? Like, yeah, me knowing you have a pool don't do nothing for me, but on a hot day in Texas, I can get in the pool.
Right.
So I'm more so speaking to like in proximity of the benefits. But yeah, we know from history the powerful and wealthy steal from the poor and voiceless. Absolutely. So there is a benefit per se. I'm more so talking about the freak offs though. All the stuff that's like the kicking it, not even the freak offs, but the kicking it though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you want to go to the club with him. He don't want to go to the club with you.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
maybe, but that type of thing.
Oh, I can see it there, man.
Yeah.
I don't even like the term freak off. I don't know. That shit just makes my skin crawl when people say freak off.
That's they overstated, man. We've been freak offing and freak neeking since 87.
Since 87. Like, bro, stop it, man. But speaking of fatherhood earlier, Joe Biden just pardoned his son Hunter Biden. I wasn't following this story too close. Jesus Christ, man. So I don't know exactly what Hunter Biden was accused of or what he was doing. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so long story real short, he got in trouble with let's just say guns and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
And here's my thing on that, right? Everything is such a Me Too movement, right? And I hate to hear that from Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is just because a white person or a female or whoever does something wrong, equality isn't me being able to do the same thing wrong. That's corny. That's weird. Yeah, they should be held accountable for their wrong, but I don't want to do wrong just because somebody else doing wrong and getting away with it. And that's what they're doing with the Biden thing. Now people going crazy. Like, yeah, y'all was talking about Trump. He pardoned his son. No shit.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, I'm pardoning my son. Duh.
100%.
No brainer.
One thing that bothers me too, like you said, with that though, is like this, fam. Like, not about time the fucking Democratic Party got some balls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Republican Party been doing what the hell they want to for the last really forever, but really we really getting to see them really turn up since Trump was in office, got in office in 2016. We've seen them turn up. They've been doing whatever they want. So now it's about time. Yeah, Democrats, grab y'all balls too. Show the world how power really works. We know this already. So why would you do that? Why would you even subject your son to that? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all everybody else got they Second Amendment rights, and everybody else, kids can be on opioids and be forgiven. When it happened in the Black community, all said just say no. Now he on drugs and he don't got the ability to be forgiven. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we all know what type of sickness that is. You know what I mean? Like, to me, my son wouldn't even a sniffed a little bit if I'm the president of the United States. You damn right I'm pardoning all my family members. What you did? Oh, okay, come home, little Juju.
You ain't gonna be going to jail for whatever you did.
Right, on God, you ain't going to jail for it, because that's just me. I'm sorry, it might be hypocrisy, but that's how the world works, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we the people in power make the laws and the rules, fam. And to me, that's a flex, like for the Democratic Party, because like I said, man, like the Republicans been doing what they want to.
Bro, we had Democrats in the office, and people was like, "Well, the House, it was a Republican House. They wouldn't let." And the cool thing about that Trump, though, if you had to find a silver lining, is he rogue in a sense, bro. Like you said, no, this is what power looks like. This is what we doing, and this is how it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was happy to see Joe Biden do that, bro, because that's like a duh. Like, what was you even waiting on? Like,
right. Y'all wasted all this time, all the taxpayer dollars, everything. Like, what was y'all really waiting
on?
Did
you forget?
I'm
old man, stupid man.
I am the president of the United States. So I said, stupid man. While we in the vein of fatherhood, Father Time is finally catching up with one of our all-time favorite superstars, man.
that?
LeBron James.
Oh yeah,
He has been looking horrible over the last like 4 or 5 games. He's
yeah.
been having shooting slumps. Like it's clear to tell that Father Time is caught up with him, man. And it's kind of depressing to see a little bit, but it's also like Lakers, what did you think would happen? Y'all hedging y'all future on a 40-year-old superstar. Like night in and night out, I think he's missed like 20 straight 3-pointers over the last few games. Prior to tonight, because currently as we recording this podcast, they playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I'm not sure if he hit any threes tonight. But me and you both know as hoopers, when you ain't knocking down them shots, what is it?
It's the legs, my brother.
It's the legs. So like night in or night out, you asking a 40-year-old to compete with these 20-year-olds, these 19-year-olds, and run up and down the court, play 82 games, man, night in, night out. That's a tall order. And I don't care what type of miracle recovery you got, man, at night in, night out at 40, it's impossible. Something's going to give. Now you like say now he might be able to muscle his way to the basket and score every rip. But but we know the league is a what they call it, a make or miss league. You know what I mean? The team shoot 3-pointers at a high clip. You know what I'm saying? So you got to knock down threes to be even competitive in today's NBA. And now his legs ain't up under him like they should be.
Not to cut you off. So a couple of stats from tonight's game. They lost by 30, 29, which is 30 past the sticks.
Yeah.
But LeBron was 0 for 4 from 3. And he was 4 for 16 from the field.
Wow.
Overall.
Wow.
8 rebounds, 4 assists. He ended with 10 points. Played 31 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. That's way too much time for a 40-year-old to play. And we understand this is LeBron James, but like the Lakers really need to do something at this trade deadline. I feel they really need to do something at this trade deadline to either bring in another superstar or bring in somebody that's gonna get you buckets. I love the way Dalton Connect has been looking this season, runner probably in the first place for Rookie of the Year, but they need to do something. We didn't even expect Dalton Connect to come in and play like a superstar like he's been playing.
I'll tell you this though. This may be unpopular. I feel like LeBron was hot early on, and he was looking like, bro, he never gonna age, he never gonna die. Connect benefited off of that. Now that LeBron is slowed down, and one person can actually guard him now.
Yeah,
Connect he looked like he fresh out of college. He need time to develop. He isn't. It's the same way with Rivers last year. Everybody was super gassing him. Yeah, he can hoop, bro, but that speaks to LeBron greatness. He demands so much attention. They're not game planning for LeBron anymore because the reality of, okay, dang, he finally starting to slow down. But I guarantee you before they were. So all of y'all were getting sleepy, like, oh, he can't play. Hey, y'all ain't on a scouting report like that. So now that LeBron is actually a human being, oh, okay, we can kind of do a normal game plan. You cats ain't getting off. Couple stats from the night with that. Connect, he played about 30 minutes. He was 3 for 8, 0 for 5 from 3. He only contributed 3 rebounds, ended up with 6 points. You played 30 minutes though. So that tells a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's just one game. But overall, though, you know, a lot of people careers they benefited off of LeBron greatness, him just being on the floor because of what he could do, and now that's just coming to an end. And I don't think this bad, man. I think it's beautiful. I think when you do anything on this planet for 20 years at the level he did it, man, get dude a farewell tour like none before. Let's celebrate him. Stop comparing him to anybody. That's LeBron. And to let him get old, bro, and let Bronny or Bryce or whoever raise his kids and move on.
Right. What do you think the Lakers' path forward is? Do you think they should give him they should do some kind of big blockbuster trade at the trade deadline and give LeBron more of a point guard role, or what do you feel like they should do with him? Like
take your lumps, bring Bronny back up, sell some tickets, make it an experience for LeBron so he can have a good farewell tour. Once he retired, y'all probably suck, so you'll get a good draft pick. But I wouldn't make no blockbuster trades because the only way you're going to get any type of talent is trading away potential talent for the next 4 or 5 years. We know LeBron ain't going to play that long. You going to have to give up them draft picks. So I just say play the hand you got. this whole lake show was built on entertainment. Y'all ain't finna win. Make it very entertaining, and let the king go out right.
Yeah, man. I feel like they could leverage something, because to tell you the truth, man, I have not, ever since maybe the second game, I ain't been too happy with Rui Hachimura. I ain't been too happy with D'Angelo Russell. Gabe Vincent is washed. Like, it's really sad to see how the way it's playing now, because them couple games, them first like maybe 4 or 5 games, Rui came out on fire. Ever since he done tweaked his ankle a little bit, he just ain't the same. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, man. Like I said, I hate to see LeBron's maybe last 1 or 2 years paying out the way it's paying out now. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, it is what it is at this point. But I hate to see the Lake Show tank and suck for a while, because you know the excitement that LeBron, when he went over there, brought back to that franchise. You know what I'm saying? On the heels of Kobe retiring and everything like that. So it'd be real sad to see him to see them suck. You know what I'm saying? Tank to get some draft picks or whatever.
But I don't think. But I disagree, because tanking is intentionally losing to get draft picks. Yeah, this ain't intentional. Y'all gonna lose either way. Yeah. Just let nature take its course. You know what I mean? Let the king be the king, because I don't care who you trade, right? Let's just look at who you would have to beat to be contenders of any kind. You're not beating OKC. You're not beating Memphis. You are not beating Dallas. You are not beating the Clippers.
I might beg to differ against that Dallas joint, though. I don't know. That's just me.
No, Western Conference Finals.
The Clippers, Memphis. It maybe, bro. We gotta remember, bro. AD is still having an MVP caliber season, or he was. I know his numbers are looking a little bit different. You know what I'm saying right now, but he was having an MVP caliber season. So I'm gonna just sit there and act like AD ain't playing in his prime either. You know what I'm saying? And we really just talking about LeBron and seeing what they can salvage.
Yes, AD. I don't care if AD averages 40.
Yeah.
If LeBron can only give you 14,
it's a wrap.
Early summer, bud.
Yeah, early summer, it's a wrap. I don't know, man. We got to think. I'm gonna have to do a little bit digger deep and feel the way forward.
Colorado's officially done this season, college football. So I'm back on my hoops heavy. I just want to throw that out there. So
what happened? Did Colorado lose the playoff game, or did they make it to the playoff?
They ain't gonna make it because they lost. So they had a chance to win out. If they would have won their last 3 games, then they would have been in the Big 12 championship and they would have went to the playoffs. They end up losing to Kansas. Not only lost, got obliterated. So when they lost that game, they needed a certain teams to lose, etc., so they can still make it. But the teams won, so it's a wrap.
Oh wow!
But they gonna be in a bowl game, but
yeah.
But yeah, they ain't making no playoffs.
Yeah, after a phenomenal season too. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like everybody kind of Coach Prime out, and he did his thing this season. So
killed it.
Yeah, killed it. What do you think the path forward for him is?
If he decides to stay in college football, specifically Colorado, he'll be one of the greatest coaches of all time. By title, but I think more so he's the best motivational speaker, father figure, uncle figure type players coach. That he'll get the absolute best. If you've been watching, he's already getting the top recruits like coming out of high school. So he gonna have a powerhouse in Colorado.
Yeah, even with the hate that he's receiving about his methods, you know, his personality, the attention that he's bringing up there, you still think he'll be one of the greatest coaches ever.
Yep. Because once you win, man, you always gonna have people to get their second, of fame and want to hate, but people rock with the winners. I seen people all over saying, man, they ain't gonna win. They only gonna win 4 games next year at best. Then when they got to 5 games, people's like, man, they ain't in the SEC. Then they got to 7 games. They got to 8 games. They got to 9 games. Them same people like, man, he needs to go coach at Florida State. Take that job. So it just goes to show when you win, they cover a multitude of things. And then the media, we talk about that propaganda a lot too. The media be giving him his props. So a lot of people who don't really understand the lingo that he speak, once the media start to break it down and make it land better, make it a little softer message, you realize he just talking positive. Like he ain't even saying nothing vicious. He just like, no, I'm like that. I've been like that. This player's like that. Blah 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 blah. He ain't ever down talking nobody else, and he talking about God. So yeah, I think as he continues to win, and people, and it just be kind of a normal thing, and it don't feel like a like what's hot at the moment. I think a lot of that hate will just kind of, but he a black man too, so people, you can get on Facebook, somebody in Iowa somewhere with 13 Facebook friends probably be calling him out his name, but you know how that go.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, because I think that this country make it so hard as a black man to win. You damn near got to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like the media and every outlet, like for all intents and purposes, I'm go take it back to LeBron. We've seen LeBron be a wonderful father, a wonderful husband over the years, and people can see you eating on camera too, bro, while I'm talking.
I think they can see me.
No, they can see you.
Yeah, this ain't just kidding, y'all.
This ain't the whole production, bro. So when I'm talking, bro, we're gonna have to make sure you get your gains in. I know you over there trying to get your protein in.
Leading, motivating, and developing.
Right. But you got to get your gains in off the camera.
Right.
But anyway, so what I was saying is they we've seen LeBron be quote unquote perfect father, no scandals with his marriage, no side chicks popping up, whatever. I don't know if he got a phenomenal PR team, if he's just that good of a person. But he's received nothing but hate, and then you brought up the God part with Dion. Like, I've seen some of the same thing, that old school style of leadership that works. It's effective. You know what I mean? When I was in the military, we said, because I'm an old school military guy, like we had this saying, like, only people learn through two ways: blunt force or trauma. If you think about the traumatic experiences you've had in your life, even as a kid, like learning something somebody tell you don't touch that, it's hot. You go touch it anyway. You got to find out that the fire is actually hot. And now you're like, damn, I done burnt my hand. That traumatic experience teach you not to touch fire again. You learn from two ways: either blunt force or trauma. You know what I mean? Yep. So that old school hard quote unquote leadership, it works. It's effective. You know what I mean? And we've seen it be effective with him in college and everything. You know what I mean? We seen LeBron try to take a different approach to leadership early on in his career. It didn't work with him. He was trying to have an AAU, everybody's my friend mentality in the NBA. How far did that get him before he had to go link up with a dog in Miami? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that, like certain styles of leadership work, and it's effective when you in a space where that kind of leadership is needed.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So
100%.
Yeah. But I think the hate is unwarranted. You know what I'm saying? I've heard all, like, everything about Dion and how and his approach to coaching. But like I said, I see nothing but a old school style of leadership, and feel like that is very effective.
Absolutely. And man, excuse me, you hating on a guy's swag, that's just corny. That's weird. So a lot of times, I would assume people either do that stuff to have attention or get attention, mm-hmm. or it got to be something like a race type of thing, because otherwise, I don't care. You wearing a hat, us having on hats, I ain't offended. Like, I don't care. That's what you know what I mean? So mm-hmm. It'd be a lot of that weird stuff, but mm-hmm. I guarantee you most of those people had his posters, because the game in itself, you had to, even if somehow you fake separated it from, man, I like him on the field, not off the field. You had to love him on the field because he was just that good. You just couldn't hate him. Mm-hmm. If you playing Madden or playing anything, you definitely picking them. So, mm-hmm. So it's just it's all goofy though.
Yeah, and I'm here in Texas, man. That dude is still like a god down here. Like, them glasses that he be rocking, I be seeing it ain't a Mexican in Texas. I ain't seen them glasses. I bet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they love him down here.
In Nebraska too. I got a pair.
He said you got a pair?
Skull Buffs.
Yeah. that ain't my stilo, so I ain't got a pair. I ain't mad at them. No, they look fire on people that they look right on. But
right, facts.
Yeah, that ain't my stilo. But Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence's daughter have finally gotten engaged. They've been dating for a few years. I thought that was extremely dope. Them grandkids don't have to be the funniest grandkids in the history of life.
Bro, they getting that wedding reception, bro. Oh, bro,
it's gonna be some of the funniest stuff ever.
hilarious, bro.
Yeah. Bro, this, in my opinion, bro, this is like watching a king and a queen get married. Like, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, bro, from what the like these comedy Goliaths, bro, coming off the heels of Richard Pryor, bro, you get Eddie Murphy. Then Martin Lawrence just took it where Eddie Murphy took, you know what I'm saying, took Eddie Murphy's baton and just ran with it. Then they ended up doing Life together, you know what I'm saying, the movie Life or whatever. And I'm like, how long have these kids' lives been intertwined? How long have they known each other? You know what I mean? That's the type of thing I look at it. I'm like, was this intentional or was it not? We never know. We probably never know the story unless somebody do an interview with them. You know what I'm saying, like a Gayle King or something. But I think it's extremely dope. One of my favorite things about it, like I said, is the fact that this is like comedy royalty. A lot of things that we complain about in the Black community, oh, they'll never give Black people roles in movies like this. I'm like, man, just go back and watch Eddie Murphy movies. He brought communities together. Harlem Nights, he had everybody who's beginners, Charlie Murphy, Red Fox, Della Reese, Richard Pryor, bro. I can go on and on and on, bro. Tommy, what was Tommy from Martin? What's his real name? I can't think of his real name.
You put me on the spot.
No, but we can keep going, bro. Arsenio Hall,
Right.
man, he had everybody who's who in that film, bro. What's the chick from the Cosby Show? I can't think of her name. All these phenomenal black actors and comedians came together to make a movie like Harlem Nights.
Thomas Ford was Tommy name.
Thomas Ford. Yep. Tommy. Yeah, Thomas Ford. Rest in peace. Then we had then you get Life, bro. You get Heavy D in Life, bro. You get Martin. You get Rick James. You get, bro, you know what I'm saying? You get everybody, bro. You get who else was in Life, bro? It was so many people in that movie, fam. I'm trying to put together everybody that was in that movie. Anthony Anderson, Bernie Mac, Bokeem Woodbine. You get
Rick James.
Rick James. You get all these phenomenal actors and comedians, bro. And at one time when I was growing up, did you hear with those comedy greats what Black people wasn't doing? They was just doing it.
You know what it is too, bro. It's just, again, when you look back in hindsight, that's why, you start to resonate with the saying that, man, you never gonna truly get your flowers, right? Because as they've been doing this in real time, it's not appreciated, but they were the definition of I put on. Same with like the Wayans, right? They really put on for their people.
Right.
People just don't receive it, bro, because it's in the real time. So it's kind of like, you got the people competing with it, people hating on it, people not, engaging with it. But when you look back, you're gonna see some of them heavy hitters, like you said. No, they really was doing it the right way, or at least trying to.
Right. And I'm glad you brought the Wayans, brother, because I've been saying it for years. Something's going on with that family because they've been in the media a lot, the whole entire family. And I think it's dope because, like I said, they come from that Eddie Murphy branch as well. You know what I mean? They was all friends growing up. Them, Arsenio Hall, all that. So, like I said, that whole thing, these were people that was doing it. They wasn't complaining. They had their head down and they was doing the work. And I think a lot of times in our community, we do that too much. We complain about what's not getting done instead of actually doing shit and being the change that we want to see. You know what I mean? So I just think that's dope. But that's just caveat on that. But back to Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence's daughter. Like, I think that's extremely dope. Like I said, this should be a wedding that should be heralded with those of a liking of a king and a queen, bro. I hope they televise this wedding.
Almost on some Coming to America.
Yeah, Coming to America. That's what I'm saying. Like that shit would be absolutely insane, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's gonna be, it's even the way the kids talk about their love, like they're like it's destiny, like the words, the terms they're using, it's like a soul tie. It's real deep. So I would assume that they grew up together, probably, as friends, obviously. And I think it's deep, but I think with that, you gonna see their love. It's gonna be huge, bro. Because it's like your money's no good here. Because if I'm a photographer, I've been on this family, like let me gift y'all this. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of love poured into that. I hope it's televised. I hope we can see, because it's gonna be beautiful, bro.
Yeah, if it ain't televised, somebody should really consider it, because that
Facts.
I know they probably want to keep it private in the family moment, bro. But that shit would be fire if it was televised to get to see,
Facts.
to be a fly on the wall. Because I would just love to be a fly on the wall to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I always thought it was hilarious when they first announced they was dating. Martin said he wasn't paying for the wedding.
Right, right,
He's like, you make way more money than me.
right, right.
You gonna
Right.
be paying for this wedding?
Facts.
Like, yeah, that shit was
We'll figure it out.
right. Man, and for our last topic, bro, I know we embraced it with this Kendrick and Drake situation, man. GNX, I know you heard it. Thoughts on GNX?
It's incredible. What I like about it most is he stayed true to himself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff on there. It's like, oh, that's some Cali type music. But what I think is dope about that is, like, even when you hear it, you mess around BC walking around the house. So but
Yeah.
you know he stayed in his bag. It's a couple songs I'm sure everybody have where you like. For me, I'll speak for me. It's a couple songs where I'm like, that's fire. I gotta hear it a certain time and place though.
Yeah.
But it's so California. It's so, even going to college with a couple cats from Cali. I'm like, man, I had to hit him up like, bro, I know you going crazy, because he really tapped into his homegrown. So
Yeah, that's me being, birthed in California and then moving to Wisconsin later on. I'm still a California brother at heart. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The first music I grew up on was California. It was West Coast rap. Growing up was NWA, Too Short, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So to actually get this album with this sound off the heels of something I said before on the other podcast, it feels like he's bringing back regional music, and this is a reclamation of hip hop from the Atlanta quote unquote sound. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we ain't heard no Cali music in mainstream on the radio being streamed, none, bro. I can't think of the last time I heard a California, maybe Schoolboy Q. You know what I'm saying? In a major circulation, like, because Kendrick, even his sound wasn't California sounding like that. You know what I mean? He had a real mainstream pop culture sound that was different than what you heard on the mainstream, but it still didn't feel like Cali, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's early stuff like The Recipe with him and Dr. Dre, couple something. But like I said, this stuff wasn't mainstreamed on the radio. GNX is on a Billboard 100.
You know what I really like to that point too? It's like, it's digestible, right? But also, he ain't talking about a whole bunch of loser type stuff.
Yeah, not at all.
Like, we got to a point in music, dog, where everybody did drugs, like lean and perks. That's corny. We never did. Like, yeah, you smoked some weed, some trees, you drank a little bit, but we just were in this, I don't know, bro, this dark time where, like, everybody was overdosing and thinking that was lit, right? And so for him, for us, the 30 somethings and older, like, yeah, bro, he just making good music. He got a little shit talking in there, but really he just got good music. You know what I mean? Like, you can understand his words, so I appreciate all that stuff about music at this age.
Yeah, I do as well. And I didn't even think about that. I didn't, because you know how I've been on the stance of a lot of people think that hip hop just destroys culture and destroys community and stuff like that. And I've always been on the edge where I'm like, no, hip hop can build as well. This is a perfect example what we see Kendrick do of building. You know what I mean? Like I said, and also he had to do a little bit of destroying before he got here to this building process, but sometimes it takes that. And that's why like Party Die and TV Off and stuff like that resonate so well, because it's like, oh yeah, we seeing what he's doing. He's reclaiming this sound now. And I like the fact that we got region, and I will say it again, I love the fact that we got regional sounds, because everything on the billboards for the last 15 years has sounded the same. It sounded like Atlanta music. You know what I'm saying? Drake, I'm not saying Drake was the only culprit, but he's been a huge proponent of that as well, because he ran to Atlanta, like, you know what I'm saying, all the time.
Get your lingo up.
Right, pun intended. It's, to me, it's really dope to see the fact that, like, okay, we getting rid of that. We bringing back the Cali sound. Detroit, y'all been doing y'all thing. Memphis, y'all been doing y'all thing. Big ups to y'all, but y'all sound a little bit like Atlanta as well. Now Atlanta gonna have their sound. I don't know what New York gonna do. Y'all had the drill thing for a minute, but we seen how that played out in hip hop. You know what I mean? So like New York, y'all might have to get back to the boom bap, because the only cast that sound like New York is Griselda. You know what I mean? They the only cast. Benny the Butcher, them, they the only cast that sound like old school New York. You know what I mean? And they've been keeping it alive. Go ahead.
How good would Pop Smoke would have been, bro?
Man.
Dang.
Yeah.
He had that. He was New York, bro.
Yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan, but some of the stuff that I heard of his that was good, it let me know that he had potential.
He had potential.
Yeah, he had potential. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of all his music, but
no.
Yeah.
But just his sound was a East Coast sound.
Yeah, 100% it was. Yeah. And but back to what I was saying about this thing, but this beef has spent off into a lawsuit. Drake is apparently suing Universal, and you know, a lot of people are saying, I've listened to all the other podcasts, all the other bigger platforms talk about how this is Drake's fight with Universal because the money ain't right and this, that, and third. But everybody's saying the other podcasts saying it's too late. It's too late for that. His starting fizzled out a little bit. He should have been on this earlier instead of trying to be the man in music. But that's what the reason I brought up the conversation in the beginning anyway was to talk about the biggest losers in this. If you want to digress a little bit before I can go into the topic, because I felt a sigh in there. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's just one of them things, man, where regardless if there's actual business happening on the back end, he took his ball and went home, and that's just what that is. You lost at your own game.
Yeah.
Every time when you diss Meek and did all that stuff, bro, you lost at your own game. And people will fight you for telling the truth. But here go the thing. You can still like Drake and still tell the truth. Like, I still like him as an artist. You lost at your own game, bro.
Right.
And it wasn't close. It was a landslide. And everybody ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
He told you we ain't playing like that, because if you want to go to the basement, I'm gonna go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So now you can't. I don't want to hear about no bots or none of that, because if that is the case, he beat you at your own game. Everybody ain't playing.
Nah, y'all was botting too.
Yeah, everybody ain't playing.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 on that. But
yeah. And to your point about everybody not playing, if you would have just shut up and just put out some music, like I said, I forgot all about all the bullshit and the weird shit you be doing. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? That Drake be doing. And like I said, I was playing no face. I'm like, oh, this shit fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? I forgot. I always forgive him with me and Drake. I knew he wasn't gonna win that battle. I said it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
And imagine having the lyrical bag and the wittiness of a Kendrick, and you seeing all this subliminal stuff that he's saying that some of us may just miss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we ain't actually in the arena.
Right.
So there's so much stuff he be doing, and you know how it is when somebody antagonize you too. You like, oh, okay, it's up. He got what he was asking for, bro. Make some good music, move on. But all that other stuff is wild, bro. It's kind of corny, but that's above my pay grade. But it just appears to be corny, bro.
Yeah,
like, you taking your ball and want to go home.
Yeah. That's extremely corny. Even the lawsuit right now, like, okay, bro, you ain't that guy no more. We see the focus is shifting. Little too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is why I want to talk about the biggest losers in this battle. Because we just talked about our folks coming together and working together and how great that is when you see a Harlem Nights, you see a Life, you see a Boomerang, you see a Thin Line Between Love and Hate. You know what I'm saying? You see all these great collaborations, and it's so much vanity in the music industry when the artist is that got that number one spot, so to speak. We've seen it with Prince and Mike, we've seen it with Tupac and Biggie, we've seen it with Jay-Z and Nas. You know what I'm saying? The competitive nature in hip hop is good for the sport or whatever. It don't have to ruin careers. You know what I'm saying? We seen how low that Jay-Z and Nas took their beef. We seen where Drake and Kendrick took theirs. I think both their careers would have been salvaged had Drake just put out music. You make us dance, we'll forget about everything. You know what I'm saying? I think his whole career could have been salvaged from that. But the biggest losers now seem like it's about to be the culture. Like, we still ain't learned nothing from how these vultures do us in the music industry.
So I don't think anybody career needs to be salvaged, because I feel like it's really gonna be business as usual. They just got to make music.
Yeah.
But I also feel like too, it's like, hey, we've all worked jobs before where the people at the job, you didn't mess with them, you just worked with them. And I think the music industry is like that too. I mean, that's a job. Them people do music, I would assume, because they probably love it, right? To be on that level, you gotta like it, right?
Mhm.
You got to be creative enough to deliver. But ultimately, you trying to make money. You don't care about, and that's why for me, I love what Kendrick be saying, because I ain't here to be friends, and I'm not gonna pretend, and y'all mad that I'm not pretending, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything other than just kind of giving the fans it's something to talk about, right? And the blogs and everybody making money, tabloids, social media clicks, everybody making money. But I don't think at the core people really care. Like, y'all came here to make money, and when I say people, I'm talking about like the artists. Like, yeah, you grown, bro. People, you get in them comments, people be saying way worse stuff. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I'm rich.
I get that as far as the beef is concerned, and people saying like, yeah, like it not matter, not really caring. Yeah, maybe they don't. But my thing is like this: we're still going to lose. Like these.
In what way though?
The powers that be, bro, right? The people that run the music industry, these major executives, right? What they do is they find the next hot artist and they move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll make you hot and they'll break you. We've seen them with 50 Cent. We've seen them with Ja Rule. We've seen it. I can go down a list of artists who was hot as fish grease. And the moment something like this happened, they pull the rug, the execs and the radio and the powers that be and the labels and everything, pull the blanket from up under them, bro. I still think it's space for a Drake music. You know what I'm saying? But it's not feeling like it, the general sentiment right now, because it seems like everybody saw, oh, he's a B and he did this and he, you know what I mean? Like I ain't rocking with Drake right now, you know what I mean? Because he got a lawsuit against Kendrick. Like, and what that was the rumor at first, like they want to do all this cease and desist. And you know how I feel about them. I call them police games. Like, I don't think that those games should be played at all. I don't think there's no room for that. But at the end of the day, like, the industry.
That's a Drake thing though. That ain't even an industry thing. He did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the disses is one thing, but bro, you chose to do that yourself.
Okay.
All because you couldn't take your L. That's all that was. None of us would have thought about.
What if he had a real life fight with Lucian Grange though? Like, he feel like that they actually put money behind, they not like us, or they cheated him, because, you know, on this $400 million that he was supposedly got. You know what I'm saying? He felt like, hey, I'm a slave to this now, and my fight is with Lucian. Forget what's going on with Kendrick. This just happened to be fodder, because apparently it's not even a lawsuit against Kendrick. It's just some paperwork he filed. You know what I'm saying? With they not like us. Well, go ahead.
It's essentially like it's against Kendrick, like in a roundabout way, because essentially he's accusing them of pretty much falsifying Kendrick's success to make him look bad, right? I get that, but at the same time, that's business. We can't act like, oh, that's business when we win from it. It's still business when you lose. That song was fire. We got ears. That song is fire. They know it's fire. They hear it's fire. They know it's against you, one of the biggest artists in the world. Why wouldn't they put money on it? Why wouldn't they market the song? Why wouldn't he get a Super Bowl? That's business. He got his butt kicked, bro, and he is a sore loser.
Yeah.
That's what that to me. I don't know them personally, but that's just what it feels
like. It do feel like that in a sense, but at the same time, I'm not liking the vibe of what I'm not liking is it feeling like these execs are behind the destruction of another one of our greats. If you feel like Drake belong to us or not, even and even if he don't, that's a bigger issue with our culture, and I feel like that should be addressed on a larger scale. If you understand what I'm saying,
I 100% do.
Yeah.
The only thing I disagree with that is that you can't cancel Drake. He is too good. He's too talented, and he's so good and so accepting of working outside of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So he just can do everything and it's good.
Yeah.
This was just a lane where you got into some ninjas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you was trying to come like you wanted some smoke, and you just took a L, bro.
Yeah.
All this stuff is still true about Drake. He
Yeah.
still can get some slaps, but what you were exposed about is, nah, it's a difference between where we from, where when they was doing the charter 220s versus the Milwaukee public schools at one point, before it was all intertwined. It was just different because you came up different in that NPS where you had a rugged and toughness about you,
Mm-hmm.
right? This dude is really from Compton, bro. You was acting as a child. That was his whole play. Again, Pusha as well. You ain't black enough, but you portraying to be this mob guy, these mob ties. How? What was their argument? So that's where you lost on that street cred piece.
Mm-hmm.
You still a good artist. Like,
Yeah.
we can't just erase the music and the singing. But
Mm-hmm.
it was cool when you use it on Meek. You getting bodied by a singing ninja,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, that don't work over here though.
Yeah.
I just like he just lost, bro. You was trying to be tough, be a bully, and with them bars, you just can't play with that man like that. And he used the culture in a way that you couldn't do nothing about it, bro.
Yeah. And man, like I said, I agree with that in a sense. But one thing I do agree is that Drake can be canceled. And when this Super Bowl, when Kendrick gets on that Super Bowl and goes from turn his TV off into They Not Like Us, and They Not Like Us come on, and the entire audience is singing that bar for bar, there's no coming back from that.
Bro, so there's been rumors and reports that Drake is doing the World Cup.
It's the World Cup.
But you see what I'm saying, though? That, to me,
he can do
you salty.
Yeah. He can do he can do the World Cup. But listen, the whole world is going to be singing Certified Lover Boy, Certified PDF. Not mess them up, okay?
My kids are walking around and be like, what, and just walk out.
Listen, we was talking about Drake the other day. My son was like, I brought up the lawsuit. My son goes, that boy's zesty. My son is 13. Like, bro, this is what I'm telling you, bro.
So why we gotta act like that ain't the case, bro? That's corny, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying it ain't the case. I'm just saying
no, for sure.
It's a big L for the culture. When we instead of collaboratively coming together, and this is not saying that Kendrick needs to like Drake or they need to work together or anything like that. All I'm saying is we miss so much collaborative opportunities, bro. And even in war, like Jay-Z and Nas came back together and did a song together. Drake is talking about he won't even say Pusha T's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all have just kept it hip hop, Nas and Jay-Z got 3 songs together. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have won at the end of the day, even through the beef.
I just think that we still win. The collabs will be nice, but it's gonna be business as usual. We ain't gonna miss them 3 songs over the next 20 years that may have happened.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, culturally and morally, it does seem like Kendrick arguments against Drake is a deeper, darker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
like
the stuff he was saying.
Yeah.
Like, and then I mean, we know the distance at this point, but again, he didn't play in that pretending to be tough and street guy. He's like, hey, why is that guy around? He's a one of those guys. Right. Why is he around your camp? I'm just asking these questions. Why? You've been known to be messing with woo little sister. We all was like, she bad, right? You've been known to do these things. And then on some of the other big platforms, bro, y'all know he was messing with people's wives and all type of stuff. That's his MO. These people are in them circles, bro. I'm taking it at face value. It's a reason why people don't be liking people, right? It's like personally. I mean, he be singing. Okay, that's like low vibrational hate. No, you done touch some chicks that dudes felt the way about. That's why people don't be rocking with them.
As far as the sisters, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Let me ask you a question. While we on the point of collaboration, I know you believe in collaboration, but like, at what point will you take a stance where you're like, nah, I can't rock with that?
Man, at this point, at the beginning, and the only reason being is because, when you get to a point in life, man, I'm willing to lie for you, but don't make me. Right. And so I feel like the result ain't gonna be worth the risk, right? Because as we were saying, off camera before, it's like, hey, we're as we're aging, you're getting in spaces where money isn't enough. You know, man, character matters, relationships matter, being a stand-up person matters, right? In certain spaces. You can't finesse and buy yourself into certain spaces. So when you hear about the Diddy's, when you hear about all this stuff coming out of people, characters, everybody's guilty. Right. So for me, if I'm collabing, everybody can live their life how they choose. And I ain't trying to police nobody's life or nothing like that. But some stuff is just non-negotiable, right? Some people just lousy, bro. And at the end of the day, that's cool for you to be lousy in your life. But to collab on something, it'll just have to be like astronomically beneficial for me. You just to be completely honest about that. But it just ain't worth it, bro, because again, I don't want to be in a situation where I have to lie. I'm willing to lie for people I love, but a lot of people, like, you already going to doing anything with them knowing you're gonna have to lie for them. And that's just corny, bro.
Yeah, man, I didn't think about it in that way. Well, let me ask you this then, because I'm like I said, I love collaboration, and I think that us in our communities, we definitely stronger when we collaborate. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think it makes a lot of shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody who don't got the same knowledge base as you, but they might have a subject, they might be a subject matter expert in another area. So we come together and be like, okay, well, since you know this good, then hey, I'll be over here and I'll handle this shit that I know good, but we'll make this machine work together. You know what I mean? I love that sense of collaboration, man.
Absolutely. I was gonna piggyback that too and say, the biggest thing about, collaboration, in my small mind opinion, is we have to have some type of common ground, right? So if we doing this pod and your end game is Z, we probably should both have the same end game, Z. Now, the strength is you have a direction from A to D, and I got a direction from A to D, and the collaboration is how we get through the alphabet, right? That's what matters. But if my end game is D and yours is Z, that's never gonna work, right? That's gonna be a mess. So I think a lot of times with that collaboration is that we got to be like-minded, big picture, right? But that be the problem though, right? Because it's like, hey, no, we want to get here, but it's fine. You may think, hey, we may have to go off road. I thought the highway went straight through. No, we got to go, so some of that's valuable. But again, we both would be like-minded and saying, hey, we got to cross the bridge to get to the other side. And I think again, that's where a lot of that is lost because people don't identify the end game.
What's some things you think we have to stop doing in instances where we are collaborating, right? Because one thing I can't stand in the instance of collaboration is, and it's just a teachable moment because I like to do this a lot. Like one thing is the lack of communication. Like that always bothers me to death. If I'm hitting you about something and we collaborate and you don't respond back in a reasonable time, or if you don't respond back at all, I absolutely hate that. And I'm a pretty mild-mannered guy. I don't get rah-rah. I don't rule with an iron. I'm not the want to say like a most aggressive leader in the world. You know what I'm saying? If you give me your word that you're gonna do something, I want to stick by you at your word. I don't like, that's it. I like, if we like, my expectation is for you to keep up your word in any sense, in any space in life. So because like I said, I'm not a type of person. I'm fine. I don't need shit. Okay, but if you give me your word, then that's what I'm expect from you is your word. You know what I mean? But one thing I really hate is when we do that in these spaces and then we act like it. We can just ghost people and not communicate. That's one of my biggest issues with collaboration. What's one of your bigger issues with collaboration?
My biggest with collaboration is ego.
Hmm.
Because really it should be as we go, not as I go, right? And so you, my brother, being a fellow creative and you tried to do fashion before, and a little example of that would be I remember I was actually paying bills at one point with the clothing. I was making it in my basement. A lot of people didn't know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, I remember let's just say marketing. I didn't identify it as marketing at the time, but let's just say for my marketing, I was making shirts for people who I thought was fly or people that I knew would be out in the public eye. And I used to tell people, hey, wear this, give me a photo when you go out, right? And people wouldn't get a photo. Well, why is that? Right? You want the clothes. I'm on the list. You're on my list that, hey, if you make something, I'll rock it, right? Why don't you take the photos? It's because of the ego. Because instead of being a we or a brand thing, it becomes a me thing, right? So it'd be so hard to collaborate because you want what the clothes give you, but you ain't considering the we. You ain't considering the brand. You don't care about the return on the investment. You done got the dopamine, probably caught you something out the club. You done made off like a bandit. And so for me, again, with that ego, man, I feel like with them egos, people aren't able to identify next steps. Definitely not the end goal. And I hate that because it's silly. Because more times than not, bro, it's enough wins for everybody to win.
Right.
Everybody got somebody that looked at him and say, hey, man, Jerome knows something. Let me tap in. Right. And they gonna be tapped into this. Or Lamar knows something. Let me tap in with Burner, see what he's talking about. And they gonna tap in. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand who will want to be a part of something, the importance of them just tapping in. How can you do something right now? I'm making these this gear for our new business. I'm like, hey, why? I've been buying Nike for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being cool is out. I'm not cool, right? I've been buying Adidas for years. I've been fly for years. There's no way I would ever not have something that pays me on my body. I don't care if I was a mechanic. I'll be selling dope mechanic shirts, right? Because we just foolish to not have product for something that pay us.
Right.
So that's just the biggest thing on collaboration, bro, is identifying why and where. So that ego eliminates that and makes it tough.
Yeah, and being I've always referred to myself, and I think this is why we collaborate so well, because I've always referred to myself as an ego-less person. Like I believe when you do collaborate, you have to have the kind of 100% have to put your ego to the side, and like I said, have it's all about the product versus what I individually have going on or what my end goal is. You know what I mean? So you 100% right in that aspect, and I totally agree with you.
And my last little thing, and I'm gonna get off my box, is that with that collaboration piece, man, I think we take ourselves too serious and we act like an idea that we have, which we may think is genius, is the first time anybody ever thought that. And it's just not true.
Nah, not at all.
Right. And so ego is so deadly because till this day, I'll talk about business with people who I know do similar business, and I'll know it by fact, by regulation, by law, by statute of what that is. And they'll tell me and argue me based off of what they think or what they perceive it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be the problem.
Yeah.
Ego is deadly, bro.
Yeah, facts. One thing that you said, arguing facts, man. Like, yeah, that's that. Just because you feel like you're right, don't necessarily mean you're right.
Yeah, listen, no, we not gonna do that.
Yeah. Facts.
We're not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, listen, I've had those issues with these products that I've been trying to present to the world for a while. So I'm trying to get it on a straight and narrow now. I'm trying to do some stuff where, what I'm saying, it could be more effective to what to my end goal. So
lastly,
Right. lastly.
You done got my underbody warm. I'm triggered. But you know what it is, man, too, is that vulnerability is kryptonite for a lot of men, right? And the problem with collaborating and really having respect for men is that they can't show up as themselves. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, in my darkest days and my brightest days, I've always been burner baby. Please say the baby. That's what the screen says.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I done had a lot of success. But again, whose lens is that from? Because in my mind, I've had a lot of failures. Right. So it's a humility piece to understanding that, hey, bro, hey, we all just trying to figure this out. You are who you are before you got here.
Right.
This is the top layer, right? So money don't make me who I am. You know, none of that corny stuff make me who I am. Listen, I'm trying to get my slice.
And I hate to interrupt you, but like, I'm glad you said that, because literally, man, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
About who do you think you are and how you think people should treat you, fam? If you just move through life, you realize that don't nobody give a fuck. People got their own shit, and they got their own things going on, so they in their own head a lot of the times, and they, unless you they boss or you paying their bills, they don't care.
Facts.
They don't care what car you driving, what you pulling up in, or something, unless you got some type of authority over them. If you just an everyday person moving in life, bro, I will fuck you up. I will rob you. I will, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gotta respect you. I'll spit in your food. I'll do all like if you ain't got no authority over me, fam. Like, that's how a lot of people move through life. They don't care enough about you. So you showing up with this ego, feeling like people should treat you who you are because of something that you've done in the past that don't nobody know nothing about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean shit.
And with that too, I made a pledge to myself, bro, going into 2025. I'm gonna make some changes, you know, because at the end of the day, bro, there's a level of authenticity that I expect out of friendships or people that in my social circles, because I give a level of authenticity, right?
Same here.
Right. Period. So I don't care. We got to let the Al Bundy syndrome go, right? I don't care if you had 1 million females in the past. I don't care if you was rock star 10, 20 years ago. I don't care. That's corny to me, right? I don't respect you because of what you did 20 years ago. Most of the time, people be wanting respect for stuff or from people who wasn't even in their life then. Stuff that they did. I don't care about that. I've known you as being pretty lousy. Well, I ain't going based off of what nobody else say about you. I'm going off of what I experienced. So I think, again, you know, as men, black men, whatever, adults, we just need to allow people to accept us for who we are. Stop pretending all this. And you from Milwaukee, all this jackbox and all that. Like, okay, I get that. In your social circles, laughing and cool, but like in the real world, bro, that's corny. That's lying. That's really lying.
And one thing, I was watching the show recently, and I came across Sensei Carlos Miller. He said that when you were speaking about earlier about showing up as yourself, like, you know what I mean, like before you was anybody, like you showed up as Bernie. If anybody know me outside of this show, this is who I am. Like, I don't present, I don't put on no face, I don't act like I'm bigger than what I am, I don't boast, I don't brag, I don't do any of that. I've always showed up as Jerome Williams. You know what I'm saying? I'm all 6'6" of myself is always showing up. It ain't because of an article of clothes not going on, the shoes I'm wearing, a watch, or anything. I'm always gonna show up with me, humble, polite, funny. When it's needing to be, let me get a little Hennessy in my system and I turn into Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, because if we being honest, right? How do you tell a tree? How do you tell what type of tree this is?
From its fruit. From its fruit.
So at the end of the day, with that being said, too, people got to come with a level of respect, right? Because at the end of the day, look at what people produce. I ain't going to produce no mess behind me.
No,
I ain't running from kids. I ain't ducking from nothing. Like, I live a normal life,
right?
By the grace of God. Like, no, the fruit is the fruit. So people got to respect that too, man. Like, we got to do more of that in the community too. Is that, but it should be genuine though.
It shouldn't be forced.
It shouldn't be forced.
And it's you know, it's a lot of people, bro. Like a lot of people with common sense, I should say that respect that like you said. Hey, I got a family. I got a wife, I got kids. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, ain't no mess behind me. And it's people that look at that as admirable. And a lot of times people are like, oh, you ain't popping no bottles, you ain't in this club, you ain't got that Givenchy on, you ain't got this on. Who gives a fuck about what designer, you know what I'm saying? And like, oh, I got bro. I might pop up in some Walmart shit, flyer than all of y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That part.
No, that's what I'm saying. I might pop up in some Walmart shit. You like, damn, I like what you got on. Yeah, you ain't
and more money in my pocket.
right. You don't even know where I got this from. You know what I'm saying? Because I show up as me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Rick Ross, I'm not Rick Ross. Slick Rick said in a song, he said, even make Salvation Army clothes look good. That like part. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know, fam. If you show up as yourself, you're gonna exude that confidence, and you ain't gotta have a bunch of false pretense about or you ain't not false pretense about something that you've done in the past that make you who you are. Like what are your results today in 2020? Like 2024, you know what I'm saying? What is the people that know you and not close to you saying about you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even you saying that though, bro, I just be feeling like, dang, bro, like I got a really great life, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, straight up.
What they say, I'm gonna do my big one.
right. You know, sometimes I just wake up and you ever wake up and you just be thankful.
Yep.
Like that's a beautiful thing, man. Like and we've built these environments where we can walk outside and have what you got at a 5-star hotel. Bro. You know what I'm saying? We've built these environments, we've cultivated these environments out of our own sweat equity. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing else, bro. And grace of God, and you know what I'm saying, him giving us the mindset to set us apart and whatnot. You would just wake up sometimes and be thankful, like, man, I'm here.
Quick story, man. You know, as you just coming up, man, and you seeing things that, you know, some are expensive, some maybe not, but a lot of times they're foreign to environments. And so I remember having a hot tub, which is something I always wanted, because as you start to go places, you kind of see them in homes where like the bathtub has kind of got like some jets on it. And so I always wanted a hot tub. And so once I cultivated my backyard, getting up in the morning, and I just go out there, kind of have a little bit of a meditation. I get in the hot tub. I'm like, oh, my mindset changed. This is actually wellness. It's not no flex. It ain't anything else. It's like, hey, your body's sore because you working out and moving. You need to recover. So this is recovery. So even through, you know, all the BS, you know, it's always an opportunity to be humble. And it's like, oh man, no, this is nice. Like, yeah, this is wellness. We all should have opportunity to have wellness and be able to go to Texas. How hot is Texas? Like having a pool, you would think, hey, that's a necessity down here, right? There's still people who don't have them though.
Right.
So it's like those type of things where you like, man, yeah, my kids can cool off. I ain't gotta spray our water bottles. Go get in the pool.
Right. I gotta go down the streets in no public park. No, nothing. Go right out that back door.
And that's what people miss, man. People miss some of those blessing, man, and some of those just like wholesome views of stuff, man, and those feelings. But I hope people get to experience their wildest dreams, just to look back and be like, dang, it's kind of, you know, my life was so low. What I envisioned my life to be was so low. I viewed this as a dream. When reality is just kind of like having a AC or having central air. That's how I look at having a hot tub now. You know?
Same here with me. Like I said, I felt like it was a dream at one point as well. And then when you finally arrive, you like, I want more.
Yeah.
I remember my dream car was a Genesis G90. I had that. I got the Genesis G90. I'm like, okay, this was nice. It's what I thought it was. It don't make me feel no better.
Facts.
They don't make me feel no better. Now it's like, okay, do I want to move on to the next thing? Or now that I've experienced that, I might want to downgrade.
Facts.
And that's what I did in a sense. It was a nice downgrade, but right. That's what I did.
Tell the people what you got.
No, I ain't telling nobody what I got. But
it's all black. Let me tell you that. He got a white one too.
but you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's like I say, your mindset changes and your wants and your needs and your desires and stuff change. So to me, it's best to stay humble. Like I said, you know what I mean? And sometimes like it experience stuff, go out and have your experiences, but realize those experiences and those things don't really make you who you are. At the end of the day, me and him are both brothers of high integrity. You know what I'm saying? And high and a high moral sense. And that's what we're gonna be teaching moving forward. You know what I'm saying, with some of these practical teaching moments and stuff on the show. But yeah, it might not be the most entertaining, the most sexy, but I think it's definitely well needed in our community.
And lastly, for me, excuse me, lastly for me, leading, motivating, and developing. I think it's an assignment that we're all called to, right? But there's a sequence of events that must happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't do one thing and then be done. It's a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a play on words, but it's truly a continuation. And so,
yeah.
That's what I try and live by.
Yeah, my marathon. Shout out to Nick.
Fact.
and before you can lead, motivate, and develop, you got to learn how to follow. And you got to learn how to follow people who are going the direction that you want to go. Ain't nothing wrong with being a follower, as long as somebody going in the direction that you want to go in yourself.
Practice some discernment.
Yeah, definitely. You can't follow everybody. It definitely comes with. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this: over my life, over the leaders that I've known, people who've been in leadership positions and whatnot, they've been horrible leaders. But you know what they taught me? What not to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I would never. I don't like do this and this, not that. I would never. You know what I'm saying? So it taught me what not to do. Right. So then when I saw something about, I was like, you know what? That's aspirational. I'm gonna take this piece from here. You know what? That's aspirational. I'm gonna take this piece from here, and I'm gonna add it. And I'm a whole puzzle of life experiences that I have over the last 41 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, you know, it's a saying I like to say all the time. Wise people learn from smart people learn from their own mistake. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. You don't have to always touch the fire to know it's hot.
That part. But, oh, bro, you got burned. Sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. I didn't have to touch that.
I won't touch it though.
I felt it from 10 feet away.
and really that's full circle too. When you talk about collaboration, man, it's again that vulnerability piece and that understanding that, hey, we both have the responsibility to understand that it's what you learn after you know everything that's important. So if you telling me something, I have to be secure enough to receive that, right? But that's just the first part. I still have to apply because one thing I can't stand about people is people will take up emotional space in your life. They'll come to you, Jerome, what do you think about this? What do you think about that, right? And if you're in relationship with them, you'll pour out of your cup. Now you're empty because you poured into their cup, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But they dump it on the ground because they don't even apply. They don't even use. They don't even receive the pour. Right. And so, you know, there's accountability on both sides where we have to stop pouring too, because givers got to watch because takers don't stop.
They don't stop. They're going to keep taking.
Yeah, they're going to keep taking, bro.
And that's a word. And on that note, man, we out of here and we will see y'all probably again this week, but next week at the very latest with another episode. And on that note, we out.
Something different. Lead, motivate, develop.
All right, y'all. Peace.